Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Geriatric Support Network Expert Series. I'm honored to be joined by Miss Ingrid Hoover, founder of Kairos Respite Care. Miss Hoover brings over 10 years of nursing experience and began her healthcare journey as a caregiver herself. Thank you so much for joining me today, Miss Hoover. I'm looking forward to learning more about respite care and how it can support older adults and their caregivers. So, to begin, could you tell us a little about yourself and what inspired you to create Kairos Respite Care?
Sure. First of all, thank you for having me, Matthew. It's such an honor to be here and to share what Kairos Respite Care is and how we serve the community. So let me start by saying, my name is Ingrid. I'm the founder of Kairos Respite Care, like you said. I live in Texas, and my healthcare journey started 16 years ago as a caregiver. And 11 of those years, I transitioned into becoming an LVN nurse. And what inspired me to start Kairos is the overwhelming amount of caregivers that care for their families, their loved ones, their relatives. They are they take care of their family members, and just the overwhelming amount of people that exist in those roles. Um, just in conversations with patients and all the areas of care that I provided, one thing that really stood out was how they were lacking resources, lacking support, how they felt like they had to do this journey alone. And there are, in fact, a lot of resources that they can go to, a lot of services that are available. Some require funding, some are included with insurance plans, but really, my heart behind Kairos Respite Care was to let caregivers know that there are services available to them, and I want to be able to bridge that gap for them.
That's a really amazing mission.
Yeah.
Uh, for someone who's never heard the term before, what exactly is respite care?
So, respite care gives caregivers a relief from their caretaking duties. And we do that by having someone come in at the capacity of a caregiver and provide care for their loved one to make sure that mom, dad, sister, brother, spouse, that they're safe and well cared for at home. So it gives them a way to take some time to take a breather, to take a break and be able to go to that appointment, go to that dinner, go to that movie is just a way for them to have some time to be refreshed and relief and provide the best care they can to their loved one.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful. A lot of people don't know about respite care, and it's actually really beneficial for many people. Uh,
Absolutely.
Many family caregivers feel guilty about taking time away from a person they really care for, but why is taking a break important, and how can respite care benefit both the caregiver and the person receiving care?
That is a really good question and a good point to bring up. So, prioritizing their well-being is really the goal with respite care. And they can do that by taking these short breaks, and just allowing them to just kind of regroup emotionally, physically, mentally. Doing the job of a caregiver, it can be very exhausting. And it's one of those things that over time it just kind of begins to take over. Um, and so, again, prioritizing their well being is super important with respite care. And one of the ways that they can do that or they could benefit from additional support is just having someone come and be able to relieve them, whether that's through um, paid support from an agency or just having another family member come in and help them, and just having a sort of a scheduled maybe it's just a couple of hours a week. Maybe it's once or twice a month. Maybe it's every other week. Whatever works for the caregiver and their schedule, I can't emphasize enough how important it is for them to be able to prioritize their well-being.
Yeah. Actually, recently at a memory care that I volunteered at, I actually saw this one man, and he was a respite patient. He was there for 2 weeks. His wife is his caregiver. She went on vacation, and during that time, she was able to kind of get a break from kind of all the tasks related to caregiving, and that's kind of how respite care can help with that.
Yeah.
Um, what are some signs that a family caregiver may be becoming overwhelmed or experiencing caregiver burnout and could benefit from additional support?
So yeah, that's another really good point. Caregiver burnout, first of all, is real. It's a real thing. And some signs of burnout can be, are you having exhaustion that you're finding is not relieved by rest? Are you feeling irritable more than you normally would? Have there been changes in your sleep or appetite patterns? Are there feelings of resentment? Oftentimes, it'll be said that caregivers can experience signs or symptoms of that mimic depression. They'll often withdraw from friends, families, and relatives, and they'll stop doing things that they once did that they really enjoyed. And so those are signs of caregiver burnout to look for. When a caregiver gets to that point where they're experiencing that burnout, that is a really good time to seek out help. Um, and see what resources are available for them to get that help needed.
Yeah. A lot of people probably think that caregiver burnout only impacts you physically. It can also impact you mentally and
Oh,
emotionally.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You began your healthcare journey as a caregiver, and you now have over a decade of nursing experience, including experience in the emergency room, hospice care, and also post-surgical recovery. How have those experiences influenced the way you approach caring for older adults and supporting their families?
Well, I'm really grateful that that I've had the opportunity to work in different settings and be able to provide care in different ways, post-surgical, hospice, all of those. One of the things that I've learned now, stepping away from hospital care and now coming into the homes and caring for loved ones there is I've learned to stop and listen carefully to the care needs of families. And they're certainly different at home than they would be in a hospital setting or a assisted living facility. Um, In-home care requires a skilled person or someone who can bring who's able to bring the needs of like the personal goals and the care needs and the daily routines of a patient, be able to combine that with medical care that's needed. So that's the beauty of being able to have someone come out to your home. You're able to stay in a familiar place, be able to continue with the routines that you enjoy having at home. And you're also able to combine that with home care, like medication reminders, companionship, light housekeeping, all the components of home care that are wrapped also or combined with respite care. So, yeah, I definitely one of the things that I've learned to do is slow down and listen and really be able to tailor a plan of care that continues to honor the dignity and the respect and the wishes of families and patients.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something you kind of just mentioned was about how Kairos Respite Care provides assistance with things like companionship, meals, personal care, and household tasks. And how can these everyday forms of support make it easier for an older adult to continue living safely and comfortably at home?
It is so helpful. Um, Having routines like I'd like to share a story if I can in my caregiving. Um, one of my patients, one of the things that they were having a lot of difficulty with and was have their personal hygiene. It was starting to regress. They were also having difficulty enjoying the same meals that they used to enjoy. Medications were no longer, the caregiver, the husband was the caregiver, and he was no longer able to get her to take the medications. So the care began to slip. And one of the things that Kairos is able to come into, or any home care agency really, is just to come alongside you on this journey and be able to step in and help with making some meals, helping tidy up the house with light housekeeping, run errands for you, take your loved one to those appointments that are needed, help them stay on their medication regimen that is so important. Make sure that they're able to walk using the walker, staying safe, help try to minimize or prevent falls that would otherwise happen if they didn't have someone standing next to them, walking that safe distance. Also, most importantly, is just watching for signs of decline or changes. If you don't have that somebody that is there and available to see what changes are happening with dad, what changes are happening with mom that a trained eye is able to see, right? Like a caregiver can report those changes and communicate them to the healthcare worker or to the family to say, hey, it might be time for to get this particular situation evaluated. So I love that home care is able to do that.
Yeah. You also work with individuals recovering after a hospitalization or living with disabilities. What challenges do families commonly face when a loved one first returns from the hospital, and what can they do to make that transition safer and less stressful?
I would say there are two or three really important things when a loved one is coming home from a hospital visit or a surgery recovery. Two or three things that I can think of that are really important is number one, making sure that the medications are taken as directed and that you have that caregiver that is there to gently remind you that these medications are due at this time and what they're for. The other thing is the limitation with the movements, right? There's specific instructions that are given on how to make sure that either if it's a leg surgery or a knee surgery or a hip surgery, there's specific instructions on how to manage that care at home. So you have someone there that's able to give those gentle reminders of how to go about that. Also just having someone help, take care of things around the house, like making those meals, doing the lighthouse work, and it allows for that caregiver also to spend her time not focusing on all those other things, but maybe more on their loved one with the care that's needed. So yeah, overall, it's a really good thing to have.
Yeah, definitely. Every small thing in respite care, it makes a huge difference for the caregiver.
It really does.
Lastly, if you could give one piece of advice to someone who's currently caring for an older adult, what would you want them to know?
Um, I always tell families when I get the opportunity to speak to them is you don't have to do this alone. There is support out there for you to get in touch with someone. Call your local home care agency. A lot of them have the ability to do a free consultation that will cost nothing to reach out and call them, tell them your situation, and they can, figure out together with the families what is the best plan, of course. And of course, is it the right time for that type of help? A lot of times families can manage the care well and they just need very minimal support. That's available as well. The nice thing about respite care is that you can get blocks of time to it doesn't have to be long term. It could be short term for a small number of hours just to get that extra support you need. So yeah, you don't have to do this alone and definitely prioritize your well-being It's so important.
Yeah, that's a really great piece of advice. Um, Thank you once again, Miss Hoover, for taking the time to join this interview. Do you have anything else that you'd like to tell our audience?
Yeah, go to our website. We would love to come alongside you and be able to support you with resources that are available. We have a blog post. We have um, faith care options for those who are interested in that. We also have um, a blog post. We have a devotional. We have partnerships with um, just other resources that they could find really, really helpful. But yeah, definitely reach out to someone.
Yeah, well, that wraps up this expert series episode. Please check out the Kairos Respite Care website, which I will link in the description of this video for more information about this wonderful organization. And please also check out the Geriatric Support Network website for more expert series that are soon to come. Thank you all for listening.